Good afternoon, dear professor and classmates. Welcome to this recording. Now I'm talking about the types of literary genres. This presentation is composed with what is the meaning literatures, objectives, strategies, and different examples about the culture. That's important to analyze how we can use and apply in a plan but teach at our students. What is the meaning literature as a resource for teaching English? Throughout enhances language skills, expands cultural understanding, and finally encourage critical thinking. Here you can see some objectives. For me, it's very important because if we applying a plan, our students develop their skills when we are in a process that teaching learning. Teaching English as a foreign language through cultural literary texts, using various literary genres, promoting intercultural competence, developing language skills through literature. Here we can see some strategies. Integrate literary genres. Here we can use different literary texts such as poetry, short stories, plays, and novels from our cultures and others. Contextualize vocabulary. It is important to teach vocabulary within cultural and literary contexts to improve comprehension and retention. Promote critical thinking. It is important to motivate our students to analyze and interpret cultural themes and perspectives. Facilitate cross-cultural comparison. It is necessary to guide students to compare cultural values and traditional reflects in literatures, and finally encourage multimodal learning. Our students is important to apply or incorporate audio, video, and visual aids to complement literary text and support various learning styles. In this presentation, I talk about the Ecuadorian legend, the story of Cantuña and the Devil. In this occasion, I apply cultural model, focuses on cultural, historical, and social context. Here, the text that we can use, it is the legend of Cantuña. You can apply different activities but improve the skills of the students that you can teach English. For example, if you improve skills reading, students read the text and answer comprehension questions about the characters, problem, and resolutions. Writing. Ask students to rewrite the legend from the devil's perspective. Listening. Students listen to an English narration of the story and take notes on key details. Speaking, students discuss the moral message of the story in groups. And finally, vocabulary. Teach key terms like pact, soul, cathedral, architect, and devil. In this occasion, I synthesize and I talk about what happened with the legend of Cantuña. The legend tells the story of an indigenous architect, Cantuña, who made a pact with the devil to construct a church. In the end, his cleverness saved him from losing his soul. This is a little resume about this legend. Now I'm talking about the English-speaking cultures. What is the meaning English-speaking cultures? The set of tradition, customs, and culture norms of countries and communities where English is a first or second language. In this case, I apply language models, emphasize grammar, vocabulary, and text analysis. If we talk about the English-speaking cultures, I can say an excerpt from the famous speech highlighting the fight for equality and civil rights. This history is coined by Martin Luther King. Here we can use different activities. For example, if we can improve the different skills, reading, writing, listening, speaks, it's necessary that do these activities. If you need improved reading, it is important to the students analyze and observe to identify words related to equality, freedom, and justice. Writing. Write a short essay on how they can contribute to equality in their community. Listening to the original speech and highlight keywords. Speaking. Practice a paragraph from the speech, focusing on pronunciation and intonation. And finally, vocabulary. Learn words like freedom, justice, dream, oppression, and equality. And the next example, I talk about the Mexican culture. Mexican culture, I apply personal growth model. That is the meaning, encourage personal connection and critical reflections. The text that we analyze is the tradition of Dia de los Muertos. A brief description of how families honor their loved ones with altars, flowers, and food. Here you can see different activities that we can do, but our students learn and apply different skills. For example, reading, identify key details about the elements of an altar, candles, flowers, flowers. Writing, write a paragraph about how they will celebrate the loved on their own traditions. In our country, we have a similar option when we remember our diet. Listen to audio on how an offering is prepared and complete, fill in the blank exercise. Speaking in pairs, describe an imaginary altar. And finally, vocabulary. Altar, candle, marigold, remembers, offering. It's important to apply in our plan all these activities that can use and develop our skills, but learn the English and the culture. Now I writing some conclusion. Before this activity, it is important to provide feedback after each activity, conduct period evaluations about the different topics that we can use, and finally use different methodologies and strategies according to the age and level of English the students. These activities connect the students to the cultural values and themes represented in literary texts from various countries, fostering global awareness while enhancing English language skills in speaking, reading, writing, listening, and our comprehension. In today's global intercultural world, where we often share customs, knowledge, language, and dialects, literary texts are crucial in teaching learning process and global understanding. That's all about this topic. I hope you understand and apply these strategies and different plans that is important to our students learn and teaching when we are studying this theme and this topic, the important that is English for us. That is all about this topic. Thank you. Good afternoon, teacher and classmates.